Okay, in the junction leakage, uh, actually the static power it's occur, or we can calculate the uh, parameters like as a subthreshold leakage, gate leakage, junction leakage, contention current. Okay, so here the junction leakage is present because of the actually we know about of the diode, that is the structure of the diode. It is the combination of the p-type and n-type of the semiconductor material, right? And in the according the characteristics of the diode, we know that in the when the diode is in the reverse bias, always there is a small amount of the current is present in the milliamp or in the microampere, right? This is the happen, or it will observe in the case of the practical. But ideally, we can say that uh, in the reverse bias condition, current is the zero, right? So same here. Here the again with the NMOS or the PMOS types of the transistor and the physical structure. If you consider the PMOS case, okay, in the PMOS types of the transistor, the structure is that is the two reverse bias diode is present because of the P and N, okay, and this diode is in the reverse bias. This diode is in the reverse bias because in the reverse bias there is a little amount of current is flowing through this diode, so this is called as a junction leakage current. Okay, so this again it's present in the case of the NMOS as well as in the PMOS type of the transistor. Okay, and last is the contention current. So by combining all these terms, you can calculate the static power. Now the next is the dynamic power. Okay, in the dynamic power dissipation, we can calculate the switching power as well as the short circuit power. Also, we can say the internal. Okay, switching power. Switching power is occur, that is the when there is a switching is occurrence. It means that the voltage level is passed from the 0 to shift from the 0 to 1 or the 1 to 0. The switching occurrence, also we can say the switching characteristic, right? So when this switching is occurrence, so on that times, due to this switching occurrence, this consumption or the dissipation, it's called as a power switching dissipation. Okay, so we can calculate by referring this formula, that is the alpha, this is the C, the capacitor, V square, and this is the operating frequency. And in the VLSI chip, always this is the major aspect, that is the power dissipation. And whenever we have to calculate the power dissipation, we have to calculate by adding the dynamic power dissipation and static power dissipation. In the total power dissipation in the VLSI circuit or in the VLSI chip, calculate the dynamic power dissipation and the combination of the static power dissipation, right? So in the main aspect of the VLSI chip, that is the power dissipation, always should be the low. Whenever you have to manufacture the VLSI chip, so uh, dynamic power dissipation and static power dissipation, it should be the low, right? So that is the major aspect of the whenever we have to manufacture the VLSI chip, right? And in the dynamic power dissipation, we can consider the two power dissipation through the switching and the short circuit. And in the static, we can consider the subthreshold leakage, gate leakage, junction leakage, and contention current. Okay, so power, it should be the low, and that power dissipation we can minimize by following these factors like as the activity factor, capacitance, supply voltage, and frequency. Okay, so we can reduce the power consumption. Okay, this is the definition of the static power. That is, static power is consumed when the chip is quiescent. Okay, so leakage draws power from nominally off devices. Okay, so this is okay. Now we'll go on to the topic. Okay, so today we'll okay, we will refer. The topic is system design cycle of the VLSI chip. So whenever we have to manufacture a VLSI chip, so that time, so we have to follow the steps. Through these steps, uh, VLSI manufacture the chips. Okay. The steps. First step is that the system specification. So our syllabus point of view, we know about of the all the steps which are considered to manufacture the VLSI chip. Okay, we know about of the all the stages. Okay, so how whenever we have to manufacture the chip, so what are the steps are required, and at these steps, how we can verify these steps, as well how we can fulfill the requirements or meet the challenges. Okay, and again, if there is the uh, any design is not meet the requirement of the system specification, so again it will back to the return back to the stage, and to till there is this stage it will complete to completing the requirement of this system specification. Okay, so always the first step is that the design specification, or also we can say the system specification, right? In the design specification of these chips, so here first we have to collect the information, like as uh, what are the supply voltages required, what is the operating frequencies, okay, uh, what are the run time to be executed, what are the requirements of the components like as the register, capacitors, what is the clock frequency is required, what is the internal clock frequency, global clock frequencies, okay, all that kind of the information, it's referring the system specification, or also we can say the design specification. Okay, so this is the first step of any design process, is to set the specification of the system. Okay, system specification is a high level representation of the system, right? And here like as all the factors to be considered, that is the in this process the performance. Yes. Okay, if anybody has a doubt, please ask me the doubt through the chat box. Huh? Yes, all of you can ask the doubt through the your chat box. Okay, so in this stage, the factors are to be considered. That is, in this process, the performance, functionality, physical dimension, that is the size of the chip. Okay, so these factors to be considered. Okay, in the system specification. Right. Next is the architectural design. Also here, that is the architectural design. It means that the you know about of the components, hardware components, right? So what are the hardware components will be the refer in this stage. The basic architecture of the system, that is the architecture design of the VLSI circuit, always begins with the development of the module, right? Module in terms of the input, output, and a description of the specific function, right? It also includes the number of ALUs, floating point units, number and structure of pipelines, size of caches. Okay, so all these things also include uh, when we have to use the, or we have to refer the architectural design step, right? So again here, that is the, it may be the behavioral description used. So in the behavioral description, know the functionality of the every component. Suppose the few hardware component is there, we have to refer this component. So all these we know about of the details of every component, right? Next is the functional design. Okay, the functional design, the main functional units of the system. It's also identify the interconnect requirements between the units. Okay, the area, power, and other parameters of each unit are estimated, and functional aspect of the system are considered. Okay. So in the functional design, so we can say that is the if you have to use the if you have to design the circuits for the adder, subtractor. Okay, so we have to design in the functional design. Okay, in the logic design, here we can refer that is the RTL, that is the hardware description language, like the yes. Which are the hardware description language? Yes, anyone will tell me? Yes, yes,
Structural data flow,
yes,
structural data flow, behavioral.
yes. Actually, in the uh, logic design, okay, in the logic design stage, uh, always we have to refer the RTL, that is the register transfer level, and that register transfer level is implemented with the hardware description language. Okay, so first we are getting the two major hardware description language, that is the VHDL and VLSI. Okay, so in the case of VHDL or in the Verilog, first we will consider the case is the VHDL. We know that we are getting the different types of the architectural body. Also we can say the different types of the modeling styles, which are referred to represent the that digital circuit. According to the system specification, we have designed the digital circuits, and to the steps, architecture and functional, we know the details of about of this component. So in the logic design, we have to make a model of the digital circuit with the hardware description language, like by referring the language VHDL and Verilog, right? In the case of VHDL, that is, we are getting the different modeling styles, like as a yes, behavioral modeling styles, then data flow modeling styles,
Structural.
and the structural modeling styles. Okay. So here with the logic design, we can implement this circuit with the anyone model, anyone uh, HDL language, either the VHDL or in the Verilog. And again, if you consider the language is the Verilog, so we are getting the different modeling style to represent the digital circuit as a model, right? So here we have to uh, make a model of the digital circuit, right? So if your circuit, it may be the any adder, multiplexer, flip-flops, right? So these are the digital circuit you can make a model in by referring the hardware description language. Okay. Okay. So next stage is the circuit design. Okay. In the circuit design, uh, first we'll understand what is the purpose of the circuit design. Actually, the purpose of the circuit design is to develop a circuit representation based on the logic design. That is, the Boolean expression are converted into circuit representation by taking into consideration the speed and power requirement of the original design. Right. So here in the circuit design, we are getting that is the dot bit file, right? That dot bit files we can use. Okay, uh, dot bit files are used to manufacture a chip. Right? Okay. The circuit design is usually expressed in a circuit diagram, and this circuit diagram shows the elements like the cells, macros, gates, transistors, okay, and interconnection between these elements. Okay, so this representation is called a net list. Okay, okay. So Here, this with its logic, okay, and next is the physical design. With this physical design, will possible to manufacture chips. Am I audible to all? Yes. Okay. In this, after the circuit design stage, we are getting a circuit, the output from that circuit design in the form of the net list. Okay. So after the net list, the stage is the physical design. So in the physical stage, we are getting the output is the uh, from the circuit design in the net list, and that net list as I apply input to the physical design. In the physical design, we can refer the software is a microvint software to prepare a layout for the that digital circuit. Okay. Yes, is audible to all? Yes, please mute your sound. Okay, in the physical design, please mute your sound. Okay, in the physical design, in this step, the netlist converted into a geometric representation. That is very important. The geometric representation of a circuit is called a layout. Okay, and this layout we can prepare with a microvint software. So already we have to understand this software with the microvint software with our practical session. The layout is created by converting each logic components. Okay, cells, macros, gates, transistor into a geometric representation, which perform the included logic function of the corresponding component. Okay. Okay. Uh, in the physical design, also it expresses the different connections between the components as a geometric pattern. Okay. So these all the things already we have to cover also through the uh, practicals. In the practical session, we will cover the software is the microvint software. So through the microvint software, we will understand to prepare a layout. It means that to convert that .NET list into the form of yes geometric representation or in the physics. Okay. Next is the fabrication. After finalize your design or complete your design, uh, that will be to the fabrication. According to the fabrication steps, we can manufacture a VLSI chip. Okay. And last is the packaging and testing. Okay. So this is the again very important. But this is the after completion of this chip, the testing it will be carried out with few uh, few softwares to the softwares, so we can perform the testings. Okay, but here after the every stage, uh, after the every stage, the verification is required, right? So simple. That is in the case of the suppose we will consider the stage is the logic design, right? So here the logic design is prepared with the uh, use the RTL, register transfer level, and here we can design the code for this. We can make a model of the digital circuit by referring the hardware description language, right? And in the practical point of view, you know that the software is the Xilinx or the Cadence, that kind of the software is used to prepare prepare or make a model of the digital circuit, right? So if there is any uh, error with according the system specification or the requirement of the system, so you can make the changes in the hardware description language code. It may be the USDL or the Verilog, right? You can make a changes, and again you can correct the design, and it will pass to the circuit design, right? And once your design is complete, once your design is your code is completed with the required specification or the requirement of the system, then you can that file will be transferred to the circuit design. Okay, and at the circuit design it will uh, create a .NET file, or also we can say the net list. Okay, so in the net list, again here you are getting in the form of cells, gates, macros, LUTs. Okay, but if the any error is there at the stage of the circuit design, will not possible to make the changes with this macros or with this .NET file. Okay, so again we have to repeat to the functional design. Again, the component your logic circuit is the same, and at the logic design again you can make the changes with the hardware description language, right? And again you can verify this your model of that digital circuit. You can verify after uh, uh, correctness of this functionality of that particular system, then you can apply this as an input to the circuit design stage. Okay, so after the every stage there is a verification is there, right? After the selecting the components, you have to verify these components whether this component will meet the desired function of the chip or not. uh, uh, it 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 will not for meet the requirement of the system. So again, we have to change the specification and make the changes in the component, and then we can design a logic design circuit, right? So through these all the stages, so at the after the every stages we have to verify, and it will meet the requirement of the system. Then we'll go to the next stage, right? So after completing all these stages, so last with the packaging and testing. So at this testing, after the manufacture your chip, if the chip is failure to provide the specific or the desired functionality, so it will not possible to any changes with this chip. So before manufacture physically of this chip, so we have to verify the every stages. That is very important in the data chip. Okay. Okay. Next, design abstraction level. So whenever we have to reduce the size of the chip to scaling down of the transistors, so that times this is the abstraction levels. As well in the digital circuit, we know that the Boolean expression, and by using the different techniques, we can abstract of the digital circuit, abstraction of the digital circuits, right? So here now we'll understand this is the, it's called as a Y chart, right? So in this Y chart, actually we are getting the major three levels, right? So these are also, we can say, the abstraction level for the any design. Okay, so the level is at the structural. Okay, the structural level is represented by the transistor, adder register kits, and the RISC and CIS. Okay, so it's called as a structural. Second abstraction level is that the behavioral. In the behavioral, here the stage is represented by the instructions, subroutines, operating system programs, applications. And third abstraction level is the physical levels that are represented by the transistor, cells, modules. Okay. We'll discuss this in details about these levels, right? Uh, in the behavioral, in the design abstraction domains, the IC design can be described in the following three domains: behavioral, structural, and physical. Okay. So first here, I will remind to all of you. Today our tutor meeting is rescheduled again because of yesterday. There is a meeting schedule is there at the college level. So this meeting is postponed, and this meeting now the schedule on the 2 days at the 12:40 p.m. Okay. So tutor batch B1 all should attend the tutor meeting at 12:40. Huh? Yes, all of you. Yes, tutor batch B1 all should attend the tutor meeting at 12:40. So after completing this lecture, so tutor batch 1, and again all of you request. Yes, all of you have one request. Listen, all of you. All of you have complete your registration as early because your placement drive is started now. Your placement drive is started now. So if you have to attend this placement drive, all of you have go through the by completing your registration, right? So all of you have complete your registration uh, today, as on the today, tomorrow, as early as possible, because uh, if you complete uh, when you will complete your registration, then you will attend the placement drive. Okay, so all of you complete your registration through your SAC info, right? And all of you log in with your SAC info ID and password. If any error, correct any uh, login error is there, so you have to discuss with your tutor. Okay, so all of you today will check your SAC info ID and password and log in your SAC info ID and password. I will send one link on your group, so all of you complete this feedback, that is the triple S feedback. Yes, all of you listen. This is the common instruction for all. All of you complete your feedback with the SAC info. So today all of you have go through the SAC info ID and password login. If there is any error while login of this SAC info, to contact with your tutors and solve it on today, and complete this triple S feedback form by login SAC info and ID. And as well, all of you complete your registration. Okay. सर्वांना ऑनलाईन रजिस्ट्रेशन करणं कंपल्सरी आहे. ते लवकरात लवकर करा, जेणेकरून तुमचे प्लेसमेंट ड्राईव्ह चालू होत आहेत. तुमच्या प्लेसमेंट ड्राईव्हला तुम्ही त्याच वेळेस बसू शकता त्यावेळेस तुमचं ऑनलाईन रजिस्ट्रेशन कम्प्लीट होईल. तर ज्यांचे जे राहिलेले ऑनलाईन रजिस्ट्रेशन, अकॅडमिक ऑनलाईन रजिस्ट्रेशन, त्यांनी लवकरात लवकर ते कम्प्लीट करून टाका. त्याचप्रमाणे सर्वांनी SAC इन्फोचा ID आणि पासवर्ड घेऊन आपले लॉग इन करा आपले अकाउंट, आणि ज्यांना कोणाला लॉग इन करताना प्रॉब्लेम येईल आजच ते तुमच्या ट्विटरला कळवा. SAC इन्फो ID आणि पासवर्ड, त्याची लिंक ID SAC इन्फोची लिंक सर्वांकडे आहे, किंवा तुम्हाला ती कॉलेजच्या साईटवर पण SAC इन्फोची लिंक अवेलेबल आहे. SAC इन्फो रजिस्ट्रेशन, हे तुमचा ID आणि पासवर्ड. ज्यांना कोणाला ID पासवर्ड माहित नसेल, फॉरगेट झालेला असेल, तर तो क्लास टीचर किंवा ट्युटरकडून कलेक्ट करा. आणि आजच सर्वांनी ते लॉग इन करायचंय. जर कोणाला लॉग इन इश्यू येत असेल तर आजच कळवायची आहे. ते थ्रू तुमच्या ट्विटर कळवा किंवा मला क्लास टीचर म्हणून मला कळवले तरी चालेल. यानंतर परत कोणी सांगितलं माझं SAC इन्फोच लॉग इन ID होत नाही, एरर येतोय मला, ते कन्सिडर होणार नाही. तुम्ही आजच जे काय आहे आज सर्वांनी लॉग इन चेक करा, आपलं ID पासवर्ड योग्य आहे का. आणि ट्विटर मीटिंग बॅच 1 ची ट्विटर मीटिंग आज 12:40 ला होईल. ओके, सो डिझाईन ॲब्स्ट्रॅक्शन डोमेन्स